In this video, I'm going to show you an absolutely illegal voice AI agent that screens 1,000 candidates in 48 hours. Just watch it in action.
Hi, is this Azim Kodiraz? I'm Laura calling from Talent Connect Staffing about the customer support role you applied for. Do you have a few minutes to chat?
That AI just did in 2 minutes what takes a recruiter 5 minutes. And guess what? It can place 10 calls at once, each at a fraction of the cost that a recruiter is usually paid. And if this is your first time watching one of my videos, it's nice to meet you. I'm Azim, the founder of Inspire AI, a voice agency that helps businesses drowning in repetitive phone calls get out of that trap with advanced voice agents. And if you're a business owner, the next 16 minutes of this video could change everything. But if your business is not sure about this or hasn't seen these voice agents in action, my agency, which has built over 20 AI agents, is offering 2 more business owners custom voice agents at completely no charge. So just book a quick intro call using the calendar link below while you can, because spots are limited. Now let's get straight into the video. Let's just quickly zoom in on the actual problems that recruiting and staffing agencies are currently facing. So first of all, 46% of recruiters' first calls to candidates go completely unnoticed. This means that recruiters are wasting time on nearly half of their calls. The interviews themselves often have problems because of slow outreach and follow-up, where competitors may have already recruited the top talent before you've even scheduled them for an interview. And really, recruiters just waste a lot of their daily time on repetitive tasks and no-shows, meaning that they're only productive for around 46% of the time. But now that you hopefully understand why we're actually building this, let's go ahead and do just that. So obviously, the first thing I want you to do, as always, is to head over to NAN.io, the absolutely legendary platform I like to use for all kinds of automation. You can sign up to NAN using the link I dropped in the description, which also helps support me. Either way, once you've signed in or signed up for a 2-week free trial through my link, you're going to go ahead and create a new workflow. Your blank workflow is going to look just like mine, except it's not going to have this blueprint inside. The way you're going to get that blueprint is by simply going to the description where I've dropped into my resource library and then download the blueprint I've provided there. Once you've downloaded it, you're simply going to go over here to these 3 dots and then click import from file. Once you have that set up, your screen will look something like this. So the plan right now is to first set up our blueprint in NAN as much as we can, and then go inside of Appy to set up the voice, the prompting, and all of that for our agent. So we can work from the very start of the workflow. The first thing you're going to do is go ahead and grab the Google Sheet. I've also linked that in the resource library. So all you have to do is just make a copy of it into your own Google account. And if you've never connected Google Sheets with NAN using a credential, just go into the credential tab and click create new credential. You're just going to sign in with the Google account and you should be good to go. For the document, you would just take the recruiting/staffing document you just copied. And then for the sheet, you're just going to select the only sheet we have inside. While you're at it, you can also set up this Google Sheet node over here. It's basically completely set up for you. All you would need to once again do is just connect your own account and choose the correct documents and sheets from the lists. Lastly, you can go all the way to the end and click inside of this update sheet node and do the exact same thing. Now, the purpose of the Google Sheet is to just have some sample data that we can use to test our workflow. Essentially, we're going to have some people with different qualifications applying for different jobs. What the AI has to do is go ahead and call every single one of them and then qualify them. From there, what it would do is update the screening outcome, log some notes for recruiters to see, share the details of call 1, actually score the individual, and log that for recruiters to see, and do that for each and every single one of the candidates. And the way this is going to work, every hour during Monday to Friday, starting at 9 a.m., this entire workflow is going to get triggered and will work during that time just like a regular person, just much faster. Moving on, what this sort node does over here is it sorts the person according to the date and time they were last contacted. So the person who was contacted the longest time ago will get a call first. Next up, what we have here is an if node. So essentially, if the condition we set up is true, it's going to go along this call route. If not, then it's going to go here. What we set the if condition for is whether the person has actually opted in or not. So if a person hasn't opted in, we're just going to send them a gentle nudge through email and then let recruiters know that we've done that. The main workflow, of course, over here is if the person has opted in. What this part of the workflow would do is extract all of the info from each row and then use an AI agent to prepare for the call. So the preparation could consist of questions to ask the person, any talking points to get to know them better, and some other things. After that, we have the phone number being formatted, and from there we obtain the first name. After that, what we do is place the actual call. So we would have an AI agent making the call. And if you actually go inside of this make call node, you'll see that the assistant will get access to many variables, which are the ones we created during the call preparation before. And as you'll see here, our voice agent will have access to this full list of variables that we got before, so that it's actually fully informed when qualifying the candidate and taking other important actions. From here, what we will do is just get the information from the call, so that basically means we're getting the summary and the transcript, and based on the summary and transcript, we're going to update the sheet with the score of the person, inform staff that a certain person has passed a certain stage, and wrap this up. So as you'll see here, there are a couple of more nodes that we actually have to set up. So first of all, we're going to have these two blue nodes, and these are going to involve VAPI, where we're making the call and then getting the details of the call. And then over here, we're going to have a Gmail node, which you can actually just go ahead and set up right now. So just click inside of it, and if you've never connected Gmail to NAN before, this is the exact same process you performed with Google Sheets. So quite simply, the way you set up your credential is just sign in with Google, and you're basically good to go. You can leave the rest of it as it is. For the next step, let's finally visit VAPI. So for those of you who are familiar, just sign into your account, but if you're not, just sign up. VAPI offers 10 free credits that you can use to talk with your voice agents, so you should be good to go. So as you can see here, I'm logged into VAPI, and what you're going to do is just go to the left and click on your assistants. I already have a bunch of assistants in the left side over here, but you can just create an assistant, and you can get this full prompt that I've written for you by going to that resource library I mentioned earlier in the video. But while you're there, keep in mind that right now we're building something that handles more calls in just a few days than most recruiters handle in a month. And I'm dead serious about the 2 agency spots that I mentioned earlier in the video. So if you're a business owner and you want to take your business to the next level using voice agents, now is the time to do so. We will custom build you a full agent setup, and it will be reviewed and tested by myself. We'll give you genuine advice, and we will of course provide that voice agent setup I mentioned at completely no upfront cost for your business to use. Anyway, once you've gone ahead and pasted the prompt inside of VAPI, what you can go ahead and do is go ahead to voice. I've just chosen VAPI's Kylie voice because it's pretty decent, but feel free to explore any of VAPI's voices or check out something like 11 Labs. For the transcriber, you can set this to Nova 3 because on default it's going to be set to Nova 2 for you. But other than that, you're pretty much all set. Now what we're going to do is set up these 2 blue circle nodes I mentioned before. These are called HTTP requests, and without making this too complicated, they're essentially actions that you can perform across platforms. So for example, I could delete something, I could get something, or I can post something. The way we're going to set this up on your end is by first establishing authentication. And the way we're going to do that is providing an API key that is unique to your account, so VAPI knows the assistant is yours. So for this particular use case, we're going to be using the generic credential type. The generic auth type is going to be the bear auth because VAPI uses a bear API key token. And for the bear auth, you're going to click inside of here and create a new credential. And by the way, name this something like VAPI private API key. And the way you're going to get this bear token is by heading back to VAPI. You're going to go ahead to this lock icon in the VAPI API keys. And for the private key, you're going to copy your private key and you're just going to paste it inside. And then all you would do is just click save. I already set up the only header we had, so no worries about that. And for the JSON body, we're going to have to adjust 2 small things. So first of all, we're going to need to paste in the assistant ID. So head back to VAPI, go to your assistants, and just go to the correct assistant. So under the name, you'll see this ID and an option to copy it. Just copy it. And what you're going to do is just carefully remove mine and paste in yours. And then for the phone number ID, we're going to need to set up a phone number for this particular assistant so that we can then get an ID that can be recognized. So once again, head back to VAPI. You're going to go to this phone icon. And what makes VAPI truly awesome is that you can have up to 10 free American phone numbers per account. But if you would like to get international numbers, the most common option to do that is to go ahead to Twilio and then import it from there. For those of you who are interested in that, I'll make sure to drop a link to a tutorial that can walk you through that. But regardless, once you have set up a free VAPI number, you're simply going to copy its ID in the right side over here and then just paste it in over here. Awesome. So now that that's set up, we can set up the other blue circle thing, aka the get call node. So just go inside of here, and essentially what the node does, if I haven't really explained it in depth before, is it fetches the information from a particular call. And each call has a unique ID. So we're actually able to get the ID from the call we made over here with the make call and use it inside of here to fetch that call's details. So for this node, we're going to need to do something very similar. For some reason here, I decided to use my bear key in the headers, but I'm quickly just going to remove that and then add the authentication I had before. So generic credential type, bear auth, and then my VAPI default private keys over here. Perfect. And that's all you need to do for this node. And from here, you've actually set up the full thing. So while at the start, it looked like a monster, It really isn't, because most of the nodes are just extracting, processing, or somehow changing information. So really the only nodes you have to set up are ones that are personally linked to your accounts. So that's the Gmail node, that's the make call, the Google Sheet, whatever. Now that we've set that up, I think it's the perfect time to go ahead and perform a full test call with this. So what I did is I just went ahead into the Google Sheet and I swapped the sample person's names with my name. So what we're gonna do is just launch this workflow without waiting for the schedule trigger to activate, just for testing purposes. And so as soon as I click this, I'm eventually gonna get a call. So right now I'm executing the workflow, it's extracting information and preparing the call. Pretty soon it's gonna call me after it prepares the information for the call, then formats the phone number and gets the first name. Perfect, so it's actually calling me right now. I'm gonna pick up.
Hi, is this Azim Kodiraz? I'm Laura calling from Talent Connect Staffing about the customer support role you applied for. Do you have a few minutes to chat?
Yeah, for sure.
Great. Are you still interested in this customer support position with us?
Which one specifically? I applied to so many jobs, it was just crazy.
No worries. This is for the customer support role at HelpNet. Does that sound familiar? Are you still interested in the opportunity?
Oh yeah, HelpNet, that sounds familiar.
Perfect. Looks like you've done similar work before. What did you learn during your time at EZ Support that you'd apply here?
I learned to work as a team. I learned good communication skills and all of that. Is that a good enough response for the interview?
That's a great start, Azim. Communication and teamwork are definitely key. Let me ask you, how would you handle a customer issue that's not covered in the usual script?
I'd probably escalate it to my manager or someone else if they're available. I think that's the best option if I don't know something, but I definitely try my best to help them out.
That makes sense. Trying your best and knowing when to escalate is important. Now, which CRM tools have you used in your past roles and how did you use them?
I used Monday.com and then I used a variety of tools. I used things like ChatGPT. It just did all of the work for me. And yeah.
Thanks for sharing that. As in, just one more thing. Are you comfortable supporting customers in Spanish? Have you done that professionally before?
I haven't done that professionally before, but it's kind of my first language, so I know it well.
That's good to know. Last question. How do you stay focused and make sure you follow up on time when you're working remotely?
Oh, I usually just schedule some things and I have like another employee do it for me because I'm just too lazy to do it. I can't be bothered.
Thanks for your honesty, Azim. A recruiter will follow up with you soon to discuss next steps. Before we finish, can I confirm your email is azim.codyrob@applynow.com?
Yes, that's correct.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time today, Azim. Have a great day.
Thank you. Do you think I'm going to get the job?
I'm glad you asked. While I can't make any promises, your experience and answers definitely give our recruiters a good starting point. They'll be in touch soon to discuss everything in more detail. Thanks again for chatting with me.
Have a great day.
You too, Azim. Take care.
So that was the call. The recruiter called me, and I'm pretty surprised at how accurate it was. In the Google Sheet, I swapped my name with some other sample lead, and it referenced many things about me, including the fact that I asked him questions about how I spoke Spanish, what tools I have used in the past, and how I would answer questions that I don't usually. So if we look at the Google Sheet, it's just going to confirm that. Here I am applying for a customer service position, and over here, based on the job description, it asks me questions. So for example, because the job requires someone to update the CRM, the recruiter asked me if I've used any CRM or other tools before, escalating unresolved issues probably related to that question. It asked me about answering calls that I didn't have an answer to, and it also referenced my past experience, so the customer service trainee at EZ Support, and of course it got my email correct because that was transferred over inside of its prompt. And over here, if we scroll to the side, I should have already been tracked. We can see some details over here. The screening outcome is fail, and then over in the notes. So let's check out the notes. So this is a very funny description. Their unruly and inappropriate habits such as delegating work and referencing their laziness certainly cast doubt over their competence. So that's obviously correct because I mentioned using things like ChatGPT, being lazy, and then having other people do the work for me. In the call one details, it just sums up the call. On August 5th at 10:06 a.m., which is correct. That was around 3 minutes ago. Candidate picked up, qualification performed, and results tracked. And over here for the score, I received a 50 out of 100, which is fairly valid considering my responses. So essentially what you just saw was a recruiter instantly calling me as soon as we triggered the workflow. Preparation was nearly instant because in just 10 seconds, I was already on the phone receiving personalized questions based on the job role and my characteristics as a candidate. In theory, we could have around 10 or more calls running simultaneously on this and going through hundreds, if not thousands of people each day, but since I have only one phone number right now, we can't really do that. However, feel free to try that for yourself because there's no reason that this wouldn't be able to handle that volume of calls. And with that, you saw the exact system that the top 5% of recruiting and staffing agencies are using in 2025 to enjoy 5-figure gains, whether allowing its recruiters to focus more on interviews rather than repetitive phone calls, increasing the number of calls they can perform in a given time, or simply being tens or even hundreds of times more productive and efficient. But if you're a business and you're interested in exploring the full scope of VoiceAgent's abilities, I'm inviting you to take one of the 2 spots that I have remaining in my calendar for a free, quick 15-minute conversation, a chance to map out your strategy with VoiceAgents, and finally, receive a functional, working blueprint that you can use inside of your business to generate such results. So if you're looking for an opportunity like that, now is your chance. But for those of you who enjoyed watching the setup and liked this video, please make sure to drop a comment on what you'd like to see in the future, drop a like, and also subscribe to this channel as that really helps the algorithm push me out to more people like you. Thanks for watching and have a great day.